Have you ever wondered how South Korea, a country renowned for its booming entertainment industry and vibrant culture, can also be a hub of discrimination? South Korea, with its dazzling K-pop stars and addictive dramas, paints an image of a progressive, cosmopolitan nation. But beneath this polished surface, there lies a stark dichotomy. This is a country where modernity and age-old prejudices coexist, creating a reality that is often overlooked by the global community. Now, let's delve into the experiences of the Indian expatriate community in South Korea. Heartbreaking stories of discrimination are not uncommon. There are tales of Indians who have made South Korea their home, being denied entry into restaurants, malls, and other public places. Simply because of their nationality, they are subjected to this distressing treatment. Imagine being turned away at the door of a restaurant, your anticipation for a meal replaced with a bitter taste of rejection. Or being stopped at the entrance of a shopping mall, your plans for a leisurely day shattered. This is not a dystopian tale. This is the harsh reality faced by many Indians in South Korea. Furthermore, the discrimination isn't limited to these public spaces. It seeps into everyday life, affecting housing, employment, and social interactions. It's a multifaceted issue, deeply rooted in societal norms and prejudices. But why does this happen? Why does a country known for its technological advancement and cultural exports harbor such deep-seated biases? Is it a lack of awareness or something more insidious? To understand this, we need to peel back the layers of South Korean society and examine the underlying structures that perpetuate these prejudices. So, the next time you find yourself swaying to a K-pop tune or engrossed in a Korean drama, remember that the glitz and glamour of South Korea often overshadow these harsh realities. And these realities demand our attention, our understanding, and most importantly, our action. There's no sugarcoating it. Racism is a deeply ingrained issue in South Korea. We've gathered accounts from Indian expats who have experienced this firsthand. One of them, Ravi, recalls being denied entry into a restaurant. Despite the establishment being visibly empty, he was told it was fully booked. Ravi wasn't alone in this experience. Many others have shared similar stories of doors being metaphorically and literally shut in their faces. Another Indian expat, Priya, recounts an incident where she was turned away from a shopping mall with the security guard pointing at her skin color as the reason. She was told quite bluntly that her kind wasn't welcome there. It was a blatant display of colorism, a subset of racism that is sadly prevalent in many parts of the world, South Korea included. These stories are more than just anecdotes. They are glimpses into a much larger issue that is deeply rooted in the society. The discrimination isn't limited to social spaces like restaurants and malls. It seeps into professional life too, with Indians and other foreigners often facing hurdles in their career progression due to their ethnicity. And let's not forget the casual racism that comes disguised as jokes or teasing. The offhand comments about our accents, our food, our culture, they add up, creating an atmosphere of alienation and otherness. But why does this happen? What leads to this level of xenophobia? Sociologists believe it's a mix of factors, from the country's history of isolation to the homogeneity of its population. These factors, however, do not excuse the behavior. They merely help us understand the root cause. It's important to note that not every Korean is discriminatory, just as not every Indian expat faces discrimination. But the fact that it happens at all and to such an extent is a cause for concern. These stories are not just isolated incidents, but a reflection of a systemic problem. We need to talk about it, address it, and most importantly, work towards changing it. Because no one should have to endure discrimination in any form, in any part of the world. South Korea's beauty standards are not just unrealistic, they are toxic. South Korea, a country known for its technological advancements and pop culture, has a dark underbelly. A toxic beauty culture that is deeply rooted in its society. The obsession with pale skin and slim bodies is not just a passing trend. It's an unwavering standard that has been set for decades. This obsession isn't limited to just the local population. It extends to expats and foreigners, including Indians living in South Korea. A study conducted by the Korean Society of Aesthetics revealed that over 70% of Korean women in their 20s have undergone some form of plastic surgery. This is a clear reflection of a society that values appearance over health and conformity over individuality. In this culture of appearance above all, the color of one's skin plays a pivotal role. Pale skin is an ideal in South Korea, a sign of purity and sophistication. This preference for light skin, however, has led to a widespread discrimination against those with darker skin tones. Indians, with their naturally darker complexion, become victims of this toxic beauty culture. The pressure to conform to these beauty standards is immense, leading many to resort to harmful beauty practices. The use of whitening creams and harmful dieting practices are common, all in an effort to achieve the perfect Korean look. But what is the cost of this pursuit of perfection? The cost is the mental health of individuals, the fostering of insecurities, and the propagation of discrimination. Many experts argue that this toxic beauty culture is a significant factor in South Korea's high suicide rates, one of the highest among developed countries. This obsession with beauty isn't just affecting the mental health of individuals. It's also shaping the way society views and treats foreigners. The discrimination against Indians and other expats isn't just based on nationality or culture. It's also rooted in these toxic beauty standards. This damaging beauty culture not only affects the locals, but also the expats living in South Korea. The high suicide rates in South Korea point towards a society under extreme pressure. As we peel back the layers of South Korea's glossy exterior, we're confronted with a grim reality. A reality that speaks of a society under extreme distress. South Korea, despite its economic prosperity and technological advancement, has one of the highest suicide rates in the world. Delving into the reasons behind this alarming statistic, we find a complex web of factors. A significant part of this is the toxicity of the beauty culture we discussed earlier, which imposes unrealistic standards of beauty and perfection. This pressure to conform, to fit into a mold, can be overwhelming, leading many to despair. But the roots of this problem run deeper, extending into the very fabric of the society. The intense competition, the pressure to excel in every aspect of life, from academics to career to personal life, is unrelenting. Renowned sociologist Kim Ji-hoon describes it as a society that's running on a treadmill at full speed. People are constantly pushed to their limits with little room for failure or even rest. This relentless pursuit of success, coupled with a lack of mental health support, forms a lethal equation. Statistics reveal that every day, an average of 40 South Koreans take their own lives. That's 40 individuals succumbing to the weight of societal pressures every single day. This is not just a number, it's a wake-up call. This high suicide rate isn't an isolated issue. It's a symptom of a society where the value of a person is often measured by their achievements and appearance. It's a society that needs to slow down, to breathe, to reassess its priorities. As we navigate through the complex narratives of societal pressure, beauty standards, and discrimination, we must remember that these are not isolated phenomena. They're interconnected, each one exacerbating the other, creating a vicious cycle that's difficult to break. The high suicide rates are a grim reminder of the heavy toll societal pressures can take. It's a stark warning, a call for change, a plea for understanding and compassion. Given these realities, should Indians reconsider going to South Korea? It's a question worth pondering. We've traversed through the murky waters of discrimination, the mirage of beauty standards, and the shadowy corners of societal pressure. Discrimination against Indians is not an isolated incident, but a recurring theme in South Korea. From being denied entry into restaurants and malls to facing prejudice in professional circles, Indians often find themselves on the receiving end of unwarranted bias. And it's not just about the color of one's skin, but also cultural misunderstandings that lead to such incidents. The beauty standards in South Korea too are a cause for concern. The obsession with physical perfection creates a toxic environment that Indians may find disconcerting. The constant pressure to conform to these unrealistic ideals can lead to self-esteem issues and psychological distress. And then there's the darker side, the high suicide rates in South Korea. The intense societal pressure to succeed and the stigma around mental health can be overwhelming, leading to tragic consequences. Indian expats and experts alike have voiced their concerns about these issues. Their experiences and advice should be heeded by those considering a move to South Korea. While South Korea has its charms, it also has its challenges that need to be considered. So, whether you're seeking adventure, career opportunities, or cultural experiences, it's important to weigh the pros and cons before making the leap. Discrimination is a global issue that needs our attention. In this video, we've delved into the unfortunate realities faced by Indians in South Korea, from being denied entry into public spaces to the toxic beauty ideals prevalent there. This is a call to stand against such discrimination and promote a more inclusive society. It's time to rethink our perceptions and take action. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more such content.